There can be only one.
Well, when it comes to Rusty McConaughey's Highlander, you know for a fact that the movie is a classic. And while it's also true that the 1986 flick did kick off an expansive franchise, nothing really rose to the level of the original. No wonder the original film continues to remain a favorite of a horde of fans out there, including us. After all, can anything get better than the epic cast of Christopher Lambert, Clancy Brown, and the late Sean Connery? We don't think so. But hey, having said that, we do have a Highlander reboot in the works that's been in development for quite some time now. The reboot is said to star Henry Cavill in a lead role, and truth be told, we're pretty psyched about it. So without further delay, here's everything we know about Highlander Reboot. But before we get into it, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Who all are involved with the reboot? So it was back in 2008 that Summit Entertainment bought the rights to Highlander, and the plan was to remake the original movie. In fact, celebrated screenwriting duo Art Markham and Matt Holloway were actually attached to the project, along with producer Peter Davis. That's not all. Justin Lin had even signed on to direct the remake, and if we're not mistaken, the flick's title was Highlander The Reckoning. Moving on to the year 2011, Melissa Rosenberg was supposed to write the script of the remake, and while Lin was still on board to direct the movie, he dropped out that very year in August for his commitments to other projects. Spanish filmmaker Juan Carlos Fresnadillo took over to helm the project the following year. And at some point, Ryan Reynolds was also confirmed to play the character of Connor MacLeod. As for actors Ray Stevenson and Vinnie Jones, they were rumored to have been considered for the character of Connor's nemesis, aka the Kurgan. However, that very year in December, not only did Reynolds drop out of the movie, but so did Fresnadillo, the latter citing creative differences as the main cause. In 2013, David Abramowitz, the writer and executive producer of Highlander the series, was announced to be a part of the film, with a role intended to polish the script. And to add to this, French film director and visual effects artist Cedric Nicolas Troyan was hired to direct the movie. Tom Cruise was also considered for the role of Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez the next year, but he was already occupied with Mission Impossible Rogue Nation at the time, and it's fitting to say that he wasn't taking up future projects. In February 2015, Dave Bautista was cast in the role of the Kurgan, and Nicholas Troyan was still donning the director's hat. However, it was in November 2016 that celebrated stuntman and filmmaker Chad Stahelski was confirmed to direct the remake, with Ryan J. Condal serving as the screenwriter. Finally, in May 2021, Henry Cavill was revealed to be portraying a lead role in the reboot, and while what role he would be playing was unknown to everybody back then. Moving on to 2023, it became evident that Cavill would be essaying the character of Connor MacLeod. While Stahelski is confirmed to be in the director's role, the screenwriter happens to be Mike Finch as of now. What's the current status of the Highlander reboot? You'll be happy to know that there's a release window for the Highlander reboot, and that the studio is particularly looking for a 2026 release. While no further details have been shared, the reboot will, in all probability, begin filming in January next year in Scotland. And if everything goes according to plan, the release window does seem quite viable. Cast and characters involved. Truth be told, the only confirmed cast member of the Highlander reboot happens to be Henry Cavill. Of course, seeing Cavill as a sword-wielding hero will be fascinating, given his charming performance as Geralt in The Witcher. Furthermore, with Stahelski having confirmed that the reboot will have a lot of the same characters as the original flick, it's easy to predict the main characters like Kurgan and Ramirez amongst others. What can be the probable plotline of the reboot? For this, let's take a look at the basic premise of Highlander, because that's what will help one determine the possible narrative of the reboot. Highlander has these immortal warriors who are periodically seen to engage with each other in war across the centuries. While the original movie featured Connor MacLeod outfighting and beheading the Kurgan, thereby becoming the last immortal, the Highlander spin-off TV series came up with a twist. The series showcased that there were other immortals out there, with the aim of ensuring that the franchise could carry forward. Now, coming to Stahelski, he does have exciting things in store for his next big project. Not only does he wish his upcoming film to have pertinent traces from the original, but he also wants the reboot to be pulled from the TV series, so as to come up with a fresh storyline that's sketched out, keeping a new franchise in mind. With that being said, Stahelski is also particular about the movie not being a completely new Highlander story at the end of the day, because it will feature many of the same characters and events from the original flick. What does the Highlander reboot promise to showcase? According to Stahelski, the movie is meant to have on display the director's signature action style, and by this, we're chiefly referring to sword fighting here. Given Stahelski's penchant for working with the concept of immortality and love stories through time, he's more than excited to take a great period piece and then blend it with the genre of sci-fi. With a top-notch stunt team at his disposal, and his emphasis on wanting to balance sword fighting with action sequences, it becomes all the more evident that Stahelski desires to have this flick present an all-new style of sword fighting, one that a whole new generation will appreciate for that matter. Marvelous verdict. Stahelski's commitment to redefining swordplay on screen and simultaneously maintaining a compelling narrative surely looks challenging. But given the movie's 2026 release window, the filmmaker certainly has plenty of time to perfect the Highlander reboot. Also, when Stahelski's hotly anticipated new take on Highlander has Elon Musk hyped as much as we are to witness Henry Cavill become the Highlander, you know things are bound to be thrilling. Well, with this, we finally come to the end of our video. So what are your thoughts on the upcoming Highlander reboot? Do you think Henry Cavill will do justice to the role? We'd love to know your thoughts about it and the movie in the comments section down below. Also, we promise to keep you posted with every new bit of information that we gather. Now, if you enjoy this video, you know what to do. Please do leave a thumbs up and stay tuned with us, as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and thanks for watching. Have a nice one! If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!